Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making an elf out of the Enter If You Dare witch's sign. So what you're going to need is, I got lightweight spackle from the Dollar Tree to fill in the holes. You're going to need sandpaper to sand it down so that they're smooth. You're going to need different color paints. You're going to need black, brown, gray, red and green, white. You're going to need a box cutter, a ruler, and a pencil. Okay? So what we're going to do is, I've already put the spackle in and sanded it down. So that is done. We are going to turn this over and we're going to measure to cut this part off. Okay, we're going to make this look like a chimney. So we're going to cut these little legs off and make this into a square. Okay, and that's why we have the ruler, so that it's a straight line. So you want to keep the top lip, the top part, because that would be the top of your chimney. So you don't really have to skewer this very, very hard, because it's not really thick. It's easy to break off. I just like to do it a couple times, so that I'm going to try on the other side also. So I flipped it over. I'm going to measure it. Use my box cutter and go straight down. So you're going to do this on both sides. There you go. It's off. You got a little jagged piece here, but I think that's going to be okay. If we have to, I think I might cut this little piece off and glue it back on there so that it doesn't have the jagged part. So then I'm going to, I'm going to cut that off right now. Did you see what I did? If it was on the front, it'd be okay, but it's on the back. This little piece came off, so I'm going to continue to cut that some more, so I can glue that on with my hot glue gun. Okay, so I cut this piece off. Now I'm going to glue it back on where it came off with my hot glue. And lucky for me, I always have my hot glue gun on. I'm going to reposition this camera so that you can see what I'm doing better. So I'm going to take this little piece, I'm going to put my finger protectors on. Reason being is I've already burned myself this morning. So you're going to want to glue down the jagged part and have the smooth part up top. So I'm going to add glue, a bead of glue, all the way down. Then I am going to put it on the where the missing piece is. Perfect. So there you go. So this is on there. So we're going to give that some time to harden, and then we'll sand down the jagged edges. But I would like it to have some time to harden. Now I'm going to use this circular piece, put it over here so I don't need my ruler right now, and this will guide me on my straight line. See the burn I gave myself? I have black paint under it, but that really hurt. Okay, so we're gonna go straight down as best we can, holding this in place. It seems to move as you go, so try to realign it. Now I'm just going to keep going over where the marks are. To get a good impression so that I don't make the same mistake I had already made. I am the worst when it comes to straight lines. That's why I usually need a ruler for straight lines. Push hard while you're doing this so that, there you go. Okay. It's not exactly perfectly straight, but we can fix that by sanding it down. It's not exactly straight, so we'll work on that. This is the side I had to fix. Now we're going to cut off these little nubs for the pot. It doesn't have to be the straightest chimney in the world, because we're making it out of a witch's pot. So, as straight as you can get it with what you have. See how easy that came off? Much easier than the one side. I don't know what this board is called, but it's not like real wood. It's a little bit, it's harder than foam board, but so now we have to take off the heels for his boots. So I'm going to use this piece so that I don't take any off of his regular boot. Okay? We just want the heel off of the boot itself. Okay, so now it's starting to look more like an elf shoe. And now for the other one. Watch your fingers when you're using your box cutter or whatever you're using to cut this wood, because I don't want anybody to get hurt. Okay, so now the shoes are off. Well, the heels are off. The shoes are still on. So what you're going to do is get your sandpaper and sand the edges. Try and straighten this out as best you can, and straighten this out. And this could be part of his outfit, the elf's outfit. So you're going to need your sandpaper to sand everything. So I'm going to start with his little foot. I'm going to sand this and then come back on. I'll be right back. I decided to cut the rounded part up top here. I decided to cut that to make it more square. So once it's all smooth, you're ready to go. Okay, so here's the one side. Now you can paint this, get the glitter off by sanding it down. Whatever you would like to do, it's up to you. But I wanted the heel off the shoes, so I got them off, so they're flat. And then his little legs, and then this would be the chimney. So he would be going in like this, into the chimney. So I'm thinking we're going to start with I'm going to put lines down for his leggings. Yes, leggings. And I want to make sure I have lines down there so I do not color his shoes. So I'm going to start that right now. As you can see, I lined out pretty much everything. I put a line up here because this is going to be my chimney. I might bring it down a little more, and then this is going to be his shirt, so I'm going to bring this down more. And then for his leggings, I wanted, because his shirt's going to be green for me and his shoes are going to be green, I didn't want green up top or green down bottom. So I made sure I had red and red. So the shoes are going to be green. You can do any color you want. I'm going to change this right here. It needs to come down more for my chimney. And his shoes are going to be green. So it's green, red. You can do red and white. You can do green and white. You can do whatever colors you'd like. But I'm going to do green and red for the little leggings. So I will get back to you when I'm done painting the leggings. I just want to show you a mistake I made. Where I had written the R and the G up the leg, as you can see it through the paint. So I went and put a little red where I'm going to do the red, and hopefully I can cover this up by adding more paint once it dries. So just so you know, if you're going to mark it, try to take it off before you start painting, or you're going to have little R's on his little legs. As you can see, I've done his leggings. I did the red 4 times. I've only done the green twice, but I'm going to now do his shoes. I'm not the greatest painter, so bear with me. It seems like this wood absorbs the paint, so that's why you need so many coats because I'm using Craft Smart acrylic paint. I'm not using a lot of it, but I've had to do the red 4 times. So now I started the shoes so you could see what I'm doing. So this is all going to be green. Now you could do red and white, green and white. I just thought red would make it pop and the green wouldn't be everywhere. Like it would help distract from the green shoes, the green shirt, and the green leggings. That's why I didn't go with white, I went with red. So as I'm doing his shoe, if I notice that the lines are drying on his leggings, I will repaint them. I believe I did the red 4 or 5 times, but it's really not that much paint that you're using. It's not a big area. I just poured some in a cap because it wasn't that much. Now the green, there's more because you're painting more. See how it looks like it's absorbing into the wood? Plywood. I don't know what you would call this, but I really enjoy painting even though I'm not that good at it. I am getting better. So it is true, the more you do it, the better you get. But it's very soothing and relaxing to me. So now I'm going to do the legs again. Work on doing the green legs. I believe this is my 3rd time doing his legs. And I drew a line here, so this is where his shirt is going to be. So that'll be green, and then up here will be the chimney. What I did here is I took this pen that has a big circle. It's not an eraser, it's what you clip the pen with. And I dipped it in the green, and I made little circles all around for his shirt, and then that's his shirt. So now I'm going to start painting the chimney. I'm going to start painting it gray, and then once I get the gray paint on to where I like it, I'm going to come back on and show you where to put the lines for the chimney. Okay, so this is what he looks like. I added some white around his little hem there, and I painted this gray. And now we're going to make lines with our ruler and a pencil. So I'm going to do that right now. This is not totally even, just so you know. So I am just putting lines about a half an inch, I'm thinking, down, can you see that? Down my chimney. I'm eyeballing it, but I believe it's about a half an inch. Okay, so here's my lines. So I'm not going to go straight up and down. They're going to be staggered, so it looks like bricks. I will show you in a minute what I'm talking about. So right now, what I have, other than a little green paint on my chimney, which I hope it'll come off. Okay, it did. Good. I stuck my ruler in my paint that's not dry. My ruler. Okay. So, I have it here. I have it up here, here, and I am going to do the other ones a little different. I'll show you in a moment. So, I hope you can see this. I have the line over here, and then a line here, and this is even with that one, because you don't want them all exactly the same. I am going to take my Sharpie marker and color them in so you can see them more predominantly before I start adding paint. I do have a paint pen that I bought from the Dollar Tree, but yesterday when I tried to use one of the paint pens, it was too much. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if I press lightly, okay, if I press lightly, it's not going to put out a whole bunch. So I am just going over the marks that I have made, which will be easier for you to see. So this is my painting, black painting pen. So now you can see what I'm talking about. You don't want them all in the same spot. So now I'm going to draw the lines across. If you are using a paint marker that you got from Dollar Tree, my only advice is do not press hard. Too much paint comes out and it gets all over the place. I tried to use orange yesterday, so now I know that you just don't press that hard. So here's what my chimney looks like, with the little elf feet inside the chimney. So now I'm going to take different colors with a paper towel, and I am going to try to stress it out a little bit, de-stress it, make it look like it's old and worn, like a chimney normally looks. So I had painted it gray, and then I did the black lines. So I'm going to take nutmeg color, and I'm going to use the cap, and I'm going to take a paper towel, and I am going to dip it in there, fold it a little bit. Okay? So you just want to randomly mark it. And the good thing is, with using the paper towel, it absorbs some of the paint. So as you can see, it's just random marks. Now I'm going to take some black and do the exact same thing. I have it in the cap. I'm going to dip my paper towel, the same paper towel I just used, around the same place, so it'll mix the colors if need be. Okay, so now I have two colors on here, and hopefully you might see two colors. So you just randomly you can go over where you've already put color. Now I'm going to use some red. Not a lot, just a little, to add a little bit of pop to the chimney. We don't want a lot of the red. We just want a little. So dipping the same spot I did, I just want a little. So here's the little, and I'm just lightly touching it. You don't want it to make the same mark. And there he is. He's all done. And he's in the chimney. I think that's really nice. I got to work on my painting skills, but I think it's actually very nice. Okay, on this craft we're going to be making a 3-tiered tray. You're going to need martini glasses or candlesticks. I chose the martini glasses. I thought it was pretty. You're going to need 2 burner covers. You're going to need to paint them. So you'll need 2 burner covers. They come in a pack. You will need 2 pie pans, your glue gun, your E6000, and you're going to need marbles, because we're going to stick marbles in here, which will then turn this. Not the bottom, but the top will turn, so that you can spin the top 2 tiers. I already spray painted my burner covers. They were the wine. It had wine and grapes on it. It's better not to paint where you're going to glue your candlestick or your martini glass or whatever you choose, because of the fact that it doesn't adhere so good. But I forgot, so I painted the top. The bottom's already white. I glued the martini glass with E6000 to the bottom, so it will be sturdy when we did this. Now, you're going to take one of your pans, your pie pans, and you're going to E6000 Gorilla Glue, or I'm going to use Gorilla Glue and also my glue gun, so that it will adhere to the top of the martini glass. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm using just not this much. My E6000 is getting low, so I am trying to get it out, and the top is hard. So I'm going to take the top part and put E6000 around the edges. So once I see that the entire edge is covered, I'm going to take my glue gun and also put that around so that it'll adhere today, because it takes 24 hours for the Gorilla Glue or E6000 to dry. So what you want to do is take your pan. I'm going to lift this up some. Take your pan and try to put it in the middle as best you can before the glue dries. Okay? So you got to eyeball it and find out where the middle is. Okay? So you have your bottom burner plate, your martini glass, and you have your pie pan. Now, we're going to stick marbles in there so that it'll spin. You don't have to do that. So, if you put marbles in, you can shimmy it around. Now, when I went to look for marbles, they had none at the Dollar Tree, so I ended up going to the Walmart. Now, if you're going to do that so it spins, you're not going to glue your martini glass here. You're going to glue it on here, on this pie pan. Now, you figure out if you would like it to go this way, or if you'd like it to go this way. Okay, so if you're going to use the marbles, do not glue it to this pan. If you're going to use the marbles, glue it to the other pan, this one, because you don't want it adhered to this so you can spin it. Now, if you're not going to use the marbles, go ahead, whoops, and glue it right to here. Okay? So I just wanted to give you that option if you're going to use marbles. Marbles do make it spin, You can find them in the toy section at Walmart if you cannot find them at the Dollar Tree. So now I am going to glue around the top edge of my martini glass. I'm using my Gorilla Glue. Do the whole rim. Of your glass, which it will take 24 hours to dry. A little bit of hot glue. It doesn't really stick to the E6000 or your Gorilla Glue, so if you wanted to leave some spaces, that's fine. Now what you want to do is eyeball where you want to put this in the center. Now remember, if you don't want a spinny tray, you glue it to the original. If you want to put marbles in it, then you glue it to the top of this so that this can come off. But with the marbles, it will make it spin. Now I'm going to take my top tray, which is the second burner, and you're going to put Gorilla Glue or E6000 around the rim of your candlestick or your glass. You could use vases, whatever you like. Now remember that the hot glue doesn't do so well on noticing that that's not very straight. I'd like to push it back some. That's a little better, I think. I might have to glue that again because I moved it, but that looks straighter to me right now. So then you take your glue gun, and you take it with the lip on the upside, and you put that right on top. Now, I have glue on my tray that I want to get rid of. It's E6000. So I'm going to wipe that off. And then I am going to go around with my glue gun and secure everything, because I don't want it to tumble over while we're working on it. Okay? So you put some glue around your martini glass. Now you're going to want to weight it down with something heavy while the hot glue is drying. So I am going to take, and that is not centered either. I am not good at centering things today. Stick something on top to hold it in place so that it will adhere a little better. on the bottom. I'm going to take the stick I had, put some glue on that, and work it in. So you want something heavy so it'll get a good grip. Any excess glue you see that you don't want there, take it off. Now I would like to give this a little bit of a farmhouse look, so I am going to take my black paint, and a paintbrush, and I'm going to do a little bit around the outside of my tray. I am dry brushing this on. As you can see, I just want to go around the outside of my tray. I think it gives it some character. You can do the whole entire lip. You can do just a little. I think it looks a lot better with the black around it. I hope you do too. So turn it around, be careful, and go around wherever you like, just putting your paint wherever. And dabbing it on there, and turn it around and continue to put the paint on it. Now I suggest that you paint the margarita glasses, which I'm going to, but it needs to cure before that happens. You can leave them the color they are. I'm thinking white would be nice. And then every holiday or birthday, you could bring this out and put whatever you like on it. You could decorate it for Christmas, Halloween, any holiday, birthdays. You can use it as a centerpiece. So spin it around and get some more. Just want a little bit here and there to spruce it up a bit. So your marbles could go in whenever you want them in. I think this is very nice. I believe I'm going to paint my glasses once this dries. But other than that, it's done, and I think it looks really good. First time making a tier tray. and I've always wanted to. So, thank you for watching. Bye.